Let's start here. Several lockdown regulations have been eased, the main one being that we no longer have to wear masks outdoors. President Cyril Ramaphosa announced last night that more people will be attending large events, but the national state of disaster is likely to remain in place for the near future. Manqoba Mchunu is around Johannesburg to find out people's reaction, and he joins us now live. Manqoba, I see you are at the Vilakazi Street there in Soweto, where usually it's a buzz and a hive of activity with those restaurants there. What's been the reaction from people who visit those restaurants ordinarily?
Well, Masiho, the announcement by President Cyril Ramaphosa last night has come as music to the ears of many South Africans, of course, who we know have been mask fatigued for quite a number of months now. We've seen quite a lot of people in the lead up to this announcement by the President simply not abiding with some of those regulations, not wearing their masks in some of those public areas. So you can imagine the sense of relief from many of the South Africans. We have spoken to some earlier this morning at Randburg Square who said that they were quite relieved, Masiho, that they no longer have to wear the mask when they're walking on the streets, when they're exercising. But of course, there's still a concern from some who say that, they want the mask to be removed all in all and not to be worn at all, even in public places, because they feel that COVID-19 is not that serious anymore. But of course, the tourism industry has also been hard hit by the COVID-19 regulations in the past few years. And they're, in fact, one of the industries that have also, been quite relieved to hear some of those announcements by President Cyril Ramaphosa last night when it comes to the easing of some of those regulations, more particularly when it comes to the issue of those visitors from outside the country, tourists from outside the country, who will now be able to come into the country if they are vaccinated or produce a 72-hour PCR test if they are not. But let me get a reaction from one of the places we are here, of course, in Vilakazi Street, which is one of the tourist areas here in Johannesburg. And I'm speaking now to Lebo Makula, who's from Sakumzi, one of the restaurants, which is also a tourist attraction here in Soweto. Lebo, thank you for your time. Let me start by getting your reaction first to what the President announced yesterday. How are you feeling as an industry?
Thank you so much, Manqoba, for visiting Sakumzi restaurant here in Vilakazi Street, Soweto. We are pleased with the announcement last night by the President, with the new uplifting of the regulations to make it easier for people to travel locally, and also to allow more people to come into venues like ourselves. So we are really pleased with the new adjustments that have been made. What
does it mean in particular for your restaurant, Sakumzi restaurant? We know that there's quite a lot of tourists has also come into this area. What does it mean specifically for you?
For us as a Sakumzi restaurant, being a tourist destination, this news is welcomed highly, because it means more people can now travel and experience the experience in Soweto. And also for us as a venue particularly, it means we can now accommodate more people, because we are now able to move with the new changes, moving from 1.5 meter to 1 meter. It means we can now accommodate people who can come and visit us here at the restaurant. So it means now we are able again to recover the losses that we have incurred in the last 2 years. So with the traveling restrictions being improved rather, and also seeing the interest from international visitors and also as domestic tourists, this is great news. We are able to move forward in a better space than we were 2 years ago.
Let's talk about the past few years. Of course, you've spoke about the difficulties that you had as an industry. What are some of the difficulties in terms of revenue, in terms of the business sustainability itself?
It has been, like any other business that has been under lockdown and solely relying on people coming to the restaurant. It has been difficult, but as a business, we are always a step ahead. We were able to minimize our losses by offering a lot of takeaways, delivering food to our customers, and also them calling in to place an order and come and collect here at the restaurant. So we were also able to minimize our losses by doing off-site catering to offices, as well as offering catering for lunch to a lot of the corporates within, your Sandton, your Bryanston, and also offices which are around here, your Southgate, wherever we are needed, we were able to go there, to offer lunch services to them. So we have been lucky because we are always working ahead.
Okay. And in terms of those travel restrictions, you've said that obviously you're hoping that more people are going to come in the country. What's the indication at this particular point, if there's any? Do you think that business will improve this time around?
Yes, definitely. In the last 4 months, we have been monitoring every single day the number of buses that are coming here, not only in Soweto, particularly that pass through here on Vilakazi Street, as it is well known that there's the Mandela House Museum just up the road, and the house that belongs to the late Desmond Tutu. So being here, we are well positioned, to attract more people. And they have been coming a lot. This morning alone, there was a bus with international visitors who came from France. So that tells you that, things are improving. Yesterday we had visitors from Portugal that we hosted here, and it was packed. That tells you that not ourselves as a business, but the implementation that are being put in place by the government, they are indeed working, and we thank the South African government for always leading and shining the way forward for all of us who benefit.
And in terms of masks, I know that there's also been easing of restrictions when it comes to the wearing of masks, but not quite in public areas.
That we are also welcoming because, as you can see myself right now, I'm not wearing a mask, which is, we welcome that, and especially for the little ones, because when they like playing inside, the restaurant, they want to take it off, they want to experience fresh air, they want to have, as they knew it before, so we really welcome that, and we are hoping that the president will keep on working hard as he is currently in making sure that, the economy does recover so that everything can go back to how things won't go back exactly as they were, but economically we are getting somewhere indeed.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Lebo Makula, who's the PR manager here at Sakumzi in Vilakazi Street, just giving us a reaction to the president's address last night. Of course, there's quite a lot of happy faces here around, people not wearing masks. For the first time in 727 days since the lockdown began 2 years ago. And of course, businesses looking forward to that recovery. They're hoping that they will be gaining all those losses, or in fact, making better of their businesses, and trying to deal with the losses that they really incurred over the past 2 years since that hard lockdown began.
And Manqoba, just very quickly, it affected us as reporters as well, right? We were supposed to wear masks for, while we are on TV presenting the news to the viewers. So it's very good to see your face without the mask at the moment. Manqoba Mchunu in Soweto for us. Let's go.